Center dynamic between Hanbin and ZhangHao was the group's quiet heartbeat, but behind the scenes, the company watched like hawks. Hanbin knew the rules: protect the group, protect Hao, even if it meant burying his own feelings. The live stream started innocently enough. Hanbin and Hao sat side by side in the dorm, cameras rolling for a casual Q&A. Hao's eyes sparkled under the ring light, his usual teasing smile in place as he answered fan questions. Hanbin laughed along, but his gaze kept drifting to Hao's profile. The way his hair fell over his forehead, the curve of his lips as he spoke. Midway through, Hao leaned in, voice playful but low. "Hanbina, your lips look so dry. You need to take better care of them." He reached over, fingers brushing Hanbin's hand as he passed a lip balm from his pocket. The touch was brief, electric, and Hanbin froze for a split second, his heart stuttering. Fans screamed in the comments, "HaoBin crumbs!" But Hanbin played it off with a chuckle. "Thanks, young. I'll remember that." Hao's flirts didn't stop. "You know, soft lips are important for everything," he added with a wink, his tone innocent enough for the cameras, but laced with something deeper. Hanbin felt heat creep up his neck, but he forced a grin, changing the subject. Inside, the company's warnings echoed. No scandals. Keep it professional. After the live ended, the dorm quieted. The others crashed early, leaving Hanbin and Hao alone in the kitchen, cleaning up snacks. Hao hummed softly, his back to Hanbin as he washed a mug. Hanbin watched, the memory of Hao's touch lingering like a ghost on his skin. "You really didn't notice?" Hao asked suddenly, turning with a sly smile. Water dripped from his hands, and he flicked a drop at Hanbin playfully. Hanbin caught it midair, his fingers brushing Hao's wrist. The contact sent a jolt through him, but he pulled back quickly. "Notice what? The lip thing?" "Yeah. Thanks for the save." Hao stepped closer, eyes searching Hanbin's face. "Not just that. You've been acting weird lately. Distant." His voice softened, a hint of vulnerability slipping through. "Did I do something?" Hanbin's throat tightened. The company had pulled him aside last week. We've seen the fan edits, tone it down with Hao. He wanted to close the gap, to admit the flutters he'd felt since debut, but the risk was too high. "Nah, young. Just tired from schedules." Days blurred into nights of stolen glances. In practice, Hao's hand would linger on Hanbin's shoulder during breaks, fingers tracing absent patterns that made Hanbin's skin burn. Hanbin would pull away, muttering about formations, but his eyes betrayed him, lingering on Hao's lips, remembering the dry comment like a taunt. One evening, after a grueling photo shoot, they shared a van ride back. The others dozed, leaving them in the back seat. Hao leaned his head on Hanbin's shoulder, accidentally brushing his lips against Hanbin's neck as he shifted. "Sorry," Hao murmured, but his breath was warm, deliberate. Hanbin's body tensed, heat pooling low in his stomach. He could feel Hao's heartbeat against his arm, the subtle press of his thigh. "Young," he whispered, voice strained. "We can't." Hao lifted his head, eyes dark in the dim light. "Can't what?" Be close? His hand found Hanbin's knee, fingers squeezing lightly, tracing upward just an inch, enough to make Hanbin's breath hitch. The company, Hanbin managed, gripping Hao's wrist but not pushing away. They suspect. It could ruin everything for you. For us. Hao's touch paused, but his gaze burned. I'm not afraid. Are you? Hanbin was terrified, not of feelings, but of losing Hao to backlash. But the tension snapped that night in the dorm bathroom, away from prying eyes. Hanbin was brushing his teeth when Hao slipped in, locking the door with a soft click. You've been avoiding me, Hao said, voice low, stepping close enough that Hanbin could feel his heat. Hanbin set down his toothbrush, turning. For your own good. Hao's hand cupped Hanbin's jaw, thumb brushing his lower lip. Let me decide what's good for me. The touch was soft, but the air thickened, charged. Hanbin's resolve cracked. He leaned in, their lips meeting in a slow, tentative kiss that ignited like dry tinder. Hao tasted like mint and forbidden sweetness, his body pressing Hanbin against the sink. Hanbin's hands slid to Hao's waist, fingers digging in as Hao deepened the kiss, a soft moan vibrating between them. The moments blurred into heat. Hanbin lifted Hao onto the counter, stepping between his legs, their bodies aligning in a perfect, torturous fit. Hao's hands roamed under Hanbin's shirt, nails grazing his back, sending shivers down his spine. Hao's hands roamed under Hanbin's shirt, nails grazing his back, sending shivers down his spine. Hanbin's lips trailed to Hao's neck, kissing the pulse point, feeling Hao arch against him, breath ragged. Their hips moved in sync, slow rolls that built a delicious pressure, each touch stoking the fire they'd denied for so long. Bina, Hao gasped, fingers tangling in Hanbin's hair, tugging him closer. Hanbin's hands slid up Hao's thighs, thumbs pressing into the sensitive skin, eliciting a shudder that echoed through both of them. The mirror fogged from their breaths, the room filled with soft sighs and the slide of fabric. They parted reluctantly, foreheads touching, breaths heavy. We have to be careful, Hanbin whispered, voice wrecked. Hao smiled, lips swollen. But we don't have to stop. In the shadows of schedules and spotlights, their secret burned brighter. Leader protecting his center, lovers stealing moments where no one could see.